What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Connector Talk, where I bring on people who are connectors, people who use their life as a network and do awesome things with it. Today, I have Toby Black. How are you doing, Toby?
I'm superb, buddy. Absolutely superb.
So Toby did something in his past that has set him up for what he's doing today. Do you want to tell the audience a bit about like what you were able to accomplish on the internet and how you did it?
Yeah, over the past, and it's first off, thanks for having me on. I've been checking out some of the lives you've been doing, great content, and it really struck a chord with me when I saw you the first time because it was all about connecting, right? And
Hmm.
to Layla and I, everything that we've done over the past 8 years being entrepreneurs full time has come from connecting with the right people. And we call it like the spider web of network because if this is the first time you're checking out anything that I'm saying, you might be saying, well, who is this, Scottish crazy guy and why should I listen to him? Over the past 8 years, my wife and I have literally went from living in the basement of a bar. Now, this is no BS. This is not made up, fabricated, Hollywood edited BS. We genuinely were living in the basement of a bar with no money, working maybe one shift every other weeks. We were practically homeless, and then we shifted our mindset, worked really hard, got connected with the right people, and have built numerous seven-figure businesses
Wow.
thanks to the internet. But more importantly, the internet is nothing but a connector itself. If you think about it, it's the same thing with music. And as I sit here, I have this beautiful guitar that I bought for my son, who's only 2 years old, but he'll be playing it when he's 18. His name is Hendrix. If you think about it, the internet is kind of like music, an art form. If it's by itself, it just sits there in the ether. Same with this cell phone, right? By itself, it sits there and does nothing. But when one person picks it up and posts something and someone else receives it, there's that connection going on. So just like music, if I write a song and it just sits here and no one listens to it, it doesn't fully get into effect because it needs to be appreciated on the other end. Just like that, the internet is a facilitator for your message, your whatever you have, your passion, whatever, to get out there to connect with someone else. So thanks to the internet, eight or so years ago, we got started in network marketing. We worked really hard, got connected with the right people, and worked our spider web of our seven-figure and beyond network from going all out, not being afraid to ask people for stuff, and then making sure that if we were asking for one thing, we were giving back tenfold to the people that were providing it for us, so we could evolve up the ladder rather than just staying still in one segment.
Nice. He's a connector, folks. Okay, so talk to me. What are the analogies and what are the necessities of inward connection? Knowing what you're good at, knowing what you have to offer. Like I know, like the internet and the cell phone, they're sitting around for us to go access to go connect with other people. What tools are sitting around for us to know what we're good at, to know what we should do? Because I think that's what maybe not holds people back, but doesn't give them the foundation for longevity. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I see this in every client that we work with personally or friends that decide to do what we're doing or whatever. I see that there's this awkward reevaluation stage of where they've made the decision to break away from the regular world, 9 to 5. They want to build their own business, whatever that may be. But there's this judgmental stage of, am I good enough? Is this for me? Can I do it? When really all of that is bullshit stories, right? That we tell ourselves, that have been made up from either real life events or imaginary events, and real life stories or imaginary stories that we've told about those imaginary events that happened in our perceived life. So we go
Mm.
through these judgmental phase of being in our headspace, and then the people who do succeed are only the ones that are able to get out of that, completely push it to the side, forget about it, and come to the realization that I am a powerful human being because I have a mind. I can
Mm.
think for myself. So when you and I like to talk about a dark room. If you think about a dark room with no light, no windows, and it's just a blank dark room, and then if you open a door to the sunlight outside and it comes in, that's kind of the awakening that happens to an entrepreneur when they're able to quiet the mind enough of all the bullshit to get to the place to be like, okay, I can now do, and it's the freedom of action because anybody can do anything. You can decide to start an e-commerce business, a video business, a band. You can be a network marketer. There's so many avenues to make money using the internet that anyone will work for you once you quiet the mind enough to push out all the irrelevant stories and actually just get into the game. Just get into the game.
And then you got the whole Stockholm syndrome, right? When people like you come around and like, all right, I open the door, and they're like, no, I like the dark. I like the dark.
Don't do it, man.
Cool, man. So tell me a bit about this whole, you said Toby and Layla. So do you have a partner in crime? Can you tell me about him?
Yeah, well, my partner is Layla, my wife, and we kind of co-branded for the longest time, A, because we didn't know any different and we were doing it together. B, we kind of fell into this co-brand of Toby and Layla because we would shoot videos together, and we found out that we were able to carve our own unique path in the busy world of network marketing, of online marketing. We were able to carve out our own little path because it was the two of us, similar in age, young couple. We both have gaps in our teeth. We're both completely unprofessional. We both swear on camera and da-da-da-da-da. So we were able to carve this unique path, and we kind of fell into that. Now, 8 years later, now that we know all this stuff and we've failed so much and we've tried things that didn't work, now we're actually carving some different lanes where Layla is branding her own movement and businesses solo, and I'm kind of in the background doing that for her. So the brand that really took us off and we've been rolling for years was Toby and Layla, but now we're moving into kind of different stories, different limelights where it's more Layla in the front for her products and her services.
Sure, but you still have that whole base. I'm sure you can tap into.
Yeah, it's all about the audience. We're just like your theme for this stuff is being like your connector, 6 degrees of separation, all of that stuff. For us, our entire business, our entire buying, everything that we purchased over the past 8 years, the trips, the cars, the houses, everything that we purchased has come from businesses, yes, but it's come from people, and it's come from audiences of people. And that's why I'm always hammering it home with anybody that will listen. It's all about your audience. Cultivate that audience and then figure out what you want to sell. And that's the beauty of what we're doing right now with the internet, with social media. You can go out and create an abundance of audiences, all specific to different niches, and don't even have a product yet to sell. And then you can later monetize that and create a completely different life for yourself.
Yeah, sell someone else's different product.
Exactly.
Your affiliate game on. All right, guys, I'm here with Toby Black. Your questions in the section below. A little jump in here. So Toby, like, if someone already has a business, what are some hacks to get them building their audience now?
Well, you may have heard the saying before, content is king and content is queen. And yes and no. Shit content is shit content. There's no point in you cutting the camera on if you suck over and over again. There's just no point. There's no point in you writing out a long form story post or a piece of copy to get someone's attention if it sucks. But you don't get to being good without sucking for a month, 3 months, 2 months, 10 months, a year. So you have to repeat the workout, the muscle of whatever it is that you want to be flexing, whether it's on video, whether it's writing, whatever it is. But just understand that you have to dial in on your audience needs and wants. If you know for certain that right now in 2017, it doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or 100 company or you're a solopreneur just starting out, because of this device, because of social media, the consumer market is so educated, we can no longer just go to someone with a pitch for our offer. Done.
Mhm.
We need to educate, entertain, inspire. We need to do all of these things TV shows and movies do on a micro level in order to keep our customer engaged and keep coming back. So if we know this, and
Mm.
we also know on the other side of that, that when you start to do anything in life, learn a new language, start playing guitar, working out for the first time, all of these different things, we suck at it because we haven't done it. So we have to do it over and over and over and over again until we get good at it, right? So if we
Yeah.
know we're going to suck, we have to make sure that we set ourselves up to be the best version of sucking that we can.
Yeah. It's
and
like
and
our
how
point.
do you do and how you do that is by knowing the person that you are speaking to directly, your target audience, that person, you know in their heart of hearts and in their mind of minds, you know what it is that keeps them awake at night. You know what it is that fuels them to make a buying decision. You know the
Mhm.
things that they say to themselves daily, because when you know that stuff, yes, you may not have the best lighting in your video. Yes, you may not have the best spelling in your post or the best copywriting in your post, but you've spoken the language that is native to that person enough that they will actually listen to what you have to say, engage what you have to say, and lo and behold, you do it long enough, you'll actually make a sale. So content is king and queen, yes, when done right, but more specifically, when speaking to your target audience so uniquely, like you are speaking directly to them, like you cut the camera on or you put your iPhone on or you did a live or you did a post for that one person who was reading it.
Sure.
That's when you'll have huge impact.
Yeah, and I see that's when you have like the right approach as well, is when, because people think of, it's easy to think of the internet as a distribution tool and make it like this unhuman thing, but it's like it's an opportunity to connect with just that one person.
Hmm.
And we're just talking about how we can, as a business, start getting in the mindset of single person, lifestyle or changes. Like we should just be thinking about one person at a time. That's
And
good.
because if you think about it, you don't make even so you make sales one by one. The transaction is one by one. No matter what it is that you're doing, even if you get on a webinar and you make 100 sales, those 100 people didn't all come together and make one purchase.
Yeah,
Those 100 people purchased individually.
individually. Yeah.
So you have to break it down to the individual person. If you're talking to the blanket group,
Hmm.
then you might probably not get the same or better or as good of results if you're talking to that one person, because chances are, if you know your audience well enough, the pains, the wants, the frustrations, the friction that the one person has is going to cross dissolve into other people that are in that audience. Maybe they don't have the same specific event happening, but they have the same emotion and frustration happening behind it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. So for brand new people, to build your audience, put out some content, but you're gonna suck at it. Try not to suck too long. I think that's what Garrett says, huh? In this
Yeah,
in this book, he's just like
yeah, it's
suck.
like I
He's like
forget it word by word, but it's pretty hilarious.
he's like you're gonna suck because you suck, but you just keep do it until you suck less.
Keep on keeping on, and that's in grade 3 grammar. That is it. That is it. It doesn't matter if you think about your entire life, whether you're 20, whether you're 40, whether you're 80. Everything that you started new, you sucked at it. That's just
Yeah,
the way it goes. Some
because
things
you
you suck.
suck.
Some things you're really bad at. Some things you're not so bad at. But just like riding a bike when you were a kid, you had to go through that progression of skinning your knees, getting dirty, failing, crying, and then lo and behold, one day you can ride a bike no problem. It's the exact same approach in your business.
Cool, man. I know you're off to do a billion things. I barely squeezed this interview with you. Can you tell me a bit about what you're currently doing to help people and like how you're serving people today?
Yeah, me specifically, I'm more focused on helping entrepreneurs from every walk of life, realtors, restaurant owners, network marketers, online marketers, bands, dial in their audience on Facebook.
Mm,
I'm pretty much all about right now Facebook fan pages, the audiences behind it, into that space. My wife Layla, she has a women's group called the Women's Connection, which is
mm,
3,000 women strong.
wow.
She has a product coming out called Powerful Pregnancy, also, which is going to be her training experience through a guide, videos, different things, then live event. So we're kind of in separate modules right now, but still at the heart of it all comes back from building your audience, knowing what that audience wants and needs are, and finding your own voice to cut
Mm.
through the noise, because there's a million people doing a million things. So in order for you to cut through that, you don't have to be the latest and greatest whatever. You just have to be genuine and authentic to your own message, to your own heart of where you're coming from. And when you get to there, speaking the language that's going on in your prospect's head, that
Uh,
connection comes together seamlessly, and you don't need all the bells and whistles, the fancy stuff, and all the other stuff, because you're speaking directly from your heart to theirs.
yeah, and isn't that crazy? You know, because it's so tempting to just try to come off perfect on the internet because you can. You could write whatever text you want and edit whatever photo you want. So it's tempting to want to dress things up, but that actually bites you in the ass when people start sensing that A, there's no continuity, and two, I mean, that's not you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, usually, like, you're just chilling right there with a guitar, and if you can build a brand like that, then it's actually sustainable. You know, hiring photographers and videographers all day might not be as sustainable as you just walking around with your stuff.
And
So that's
that's the thing. Like, if you look at, yes, sometimes we do hire photographers and videographers and all the rest of it. Everybody does it for specific projects, but you can see even guys and girls that are running 8, 9-figure companies will tell you that a lot of the time their simple little cut their iPhone on, stand in front of it, and pour their heart out message will actually convert and go way more viral, get way more engagement, hit home with way more people than the big production commercial.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's relatable, right? Because that's what other people are doing. I mean, that's what other people can do, at least. Well, cool, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. Where can people just search you? You want them to search your Facebook, or do you got some kind of landing page up or something?
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff, but just go on Facebook, type in either Toby and Layla Black, or just type in Toby Black or Layla Black, and you'll see us all over the place. We pretty well known in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to my buddy Rohan last night, and he says he knows you guys pretty well. You know Rohan?
Yeah, we're discussing doing a JV with him with his ecom stuff. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Same here. He's going to probably JV my next launch. But cool, dude. Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. And thanks for coming on. We'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.